Hello everyone, I'm your host Mariana and you're listening to A Degree Farther, the official podcast of the graduate school at Hood College, where we feature current students, alumni and faculty who are innovators on our campus and in our community. Welcome back to a new episode of A Degree Farther. This spring, we are celebrating the journeys of our soon-to-be graduates, and today we have a truly inspiring guest. Joining us is Kendra Speicher-Eisenstark, who is finishing her master's in counseling from Hood College this spring. Kendra is on the clinical mental health track and is also completing a certificate in Thanatology. She's getting hands-on experience through her internship at conducting counseling here at Frederick and working with clients through the NCTC at Hood. Beyond her clinical work, she is actively involved in the counseling community as the graduate assistant for the counseling department, as the president of Hood's Counselors for Social Justice chapter, and associate editor of the Journal of Counseling Sexology and Sexual Wellness. And if that's not impressive enough, she will also be speaking at the upcoming Counselors for Social Justice conference in April about the role of hormone cycles in the counseling space. But Kendra's path to counseling wasn't a traditional one. With a bachelor degree in psychology from Red College in Portland, Oregon, Kendra then spent nearly a decade in corporate and financial due diligence before making the bold decision to shift careers. In today's episode, we'll explore what led her to this transition, how she's found her voice in the counseling field, and the impact of social justice advocacy in mental health spaces. We will also talk about her leadership with Counselors for Social Justice, a national organization dedicated to advocacy and increasing awareness of social justice issues within the counseling field. If you're passionate about mental health, advocacy, and career transformation, this is an episode you won't want to miss. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and join us as we go a degree farther with Kendra Speicher-Eisenstark. Enjoy it! Hi everyone, welcome back to A Degree Farther. Today we are with Kendra. Kendra, I am so happy to have you today. I study with Kendra. We are both in the mental health counseling master, so I am so happy to be here with you. Welcome to A Degree Farther.
Thank you, Mari. It's so nice to be here with you too.
So Kendra is the president of the CSJ, the Counselors for Social Justice, right now, and you also work as a GA student at Hood, plus the master. So that's a lot. So we can start by introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about your story and what brought you to Hood College.
Sure. I'm Kendra Speicher-Eisenstark. I started at the master's program in 2022 as a non-degree seeking student because I was really interested in the Thanatology certificate. I still am. It's one of the things that I'm going to be getting when I graduate. But I really want to do counseling with a focus on death and dying. And I think that was really what brought me to Hood in the first place. So yes, I am a master's student. I am GA for the counseling department, and I am also serving as president of CSJ, Counselors for Social Justice, for this year or until I graduate, really.
Yeah. What are your duties on the GA? Yeah, what do you do exactly?
I do whatever it is that the faculty might need me to do. So a lot of it is coordinating things, making sure that we have good flyers, and putting together the newsletter. Right now we're doing it monthly. It's not always monthly, but trying to coordinate that kind of stuff. And there's also side projects like the department and the program itself is KCREP certified. So that's something that has to come up periodically, that they get recertified for KCREP. So I helped out with that, make sure that we have all of the data together.
Okay. So we will be talking a lot about how you balance all this in your life, because the idea is to give a message for the people that is listening to us to take care of themselves and be aware of, yeah, like the wellness in the student wellness. So can you tell us a little bit about how you take care of yourself while you balance all your responsibilities?
Yes, it's something that I am always working on. I love to take on projects. They fill me up, but they also take something from me, time and energy. So it is always a balance, trying to make sure that I am not taking on so much that I am leaving myself depleted. I think it's important to know and to recognize that everybody has a different balance for that. And that balance changes day to day, week to week, year to year. So there were times, even during this program, where there were major things happening in my life that made it harder for me to do some of the other projects that I am really passionate about. And that's okay. And there are weeks and times during the day where that's true too. So I think a lot of it comes down to really paying attention to what's going on, even though we get a lot of joy from feeling accomplished or completing a project or being somebody that people can turn to. I think especially in this program, we really like to be somebody who can be helpful. So even though that is a positive and that is something that can fill us up and make us feel good, it's also taking away from us too at times.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and now let's talk about how these roles are being good for you, how they are impacting your life and how they complement your career goals.
Sure. Um, so one of the things that I think brought me to Hood in particular is that I live in the area and my goal is to be part of the community in the area. That meant that I didn't really want to do an online program and start from scratch. I really wanted to get to know the people in the field here and have an opportunity to get to know what kinds of things were happening in the area, who was around, what people might need. Um, so being the GA is really helpful for that. It's incredibly helpful to get to know the faculty, but also all of the students, having the opportunity to reach out and connect to people, even if it's just a little bit, and sending a text every once in a while saying, is there anything that you would like to see in the newsletter? Is a way to connect to the people that are going to be my colleagues when we both graduate.
Yeah. And how you relate the different duties you have, because they are all relate. So how you use the GA job to advocate for social justice, and the same to relate it with your counseling profession.
Yeah, that you're so right. I So I'll come back to the newsletter again because I just really like writing newsletters. This is something that has shown up in a couple of different jobs that I've had. But I love being able to advocate for CSJ in the newsletter in particular and making sure that it's something that people have access to what's going on. We all have very, very full lives. And I know not everybody probably reads the newsletter, but it's something that you can access when you want to, instead of things like a meeting or an event that only happen once. Um, so I really enjoy that. And I, again, just having the knowledge of who people are in the faculty, in the department, within the student body, what's going on campus is a great way to create connections, not just for me, not just for me as president of CSJ, but anybody else who is in our program and looking for things to do, looking for ways to give back, looking for ways to add to their resume or make themselves more available to the things that they want to do too.
Yeah, yeah. That's wonderful, wonderful. All the work you do, Kendra. I would like now to focus on the social justice committee and yeah, the group and all the duties that you're doing there. I know you are traveling soon, and the semester is. I mean, we are already 4 weeks uh, on the program, but we are kind of starting also. So let us know what are the next projects, what is going on with this CSJ, how people can join. Yeah, tell us more about CSJ, please.
Happy to. So, CSJ is Counselors for Social Justice. It is a national organization, and we have a chapter here at Hood. So, nationally, what's going on is pretty exciting because they're doing their very first standalone conference this year. And when I first got elected to president, I realized very quickly that we could do anything we wanted with CSJ. And it was just going to be a matter of what what we wanted to make priorities, who was going to be able to do what people had time for. So it's really a matter of what does an individual do versus what are we allowed to do? We're allowed to do anything. But I decided that what I thought would be fun is to take advantage of this very first standalone conference and see if I could speak and see if we could get more people from Hood to speak. So that was my big push and continues to be my big push until it happens, to let everybody know that it's possible, which we did, to encourage people to apply to be speakers, which we did. We got 4 different student-led presentations into the schedule for the conference, which is incredibly exciting. That's a large number. It feels like a very large number to me. And considering the size of our program, I think it's huge. It's I'm really excited for everybody who's going. So there are several people going. It's 4 presentations, but I think it's 5 of us students. I think that's right, 5 or 6 students. Um, all of that is in the newsletter, very nicely written out. So apologies for not having it on hand. But yes, we will be doing that in April, and it is being held in Puerto Rico. So we're all trying to organize and figure out how do we get down there, how do we stay down there. And I think being part of the leadership of CSJ also means, for me, making sure that there are opportunities for people to do that, but also that we're talking about it every step of the way. So I don't want to push people into something that's going to be really costly, which it is, without providing additional opportunities. So letting everybody know that there are grants available through Hood to help supplement the cost of going down there, because it's a conference. That's very good. So we're working on that right now. This is a very different push than in years past. Other years have done a lot more education, bringing people into Hood or having meetings online that are more education focused. Other years have also done more activities. We haven't done as many like interim activities because we're doing this huge one. But yeah, like I said before, it's really a matter of the priorities of not just who's in charge, but who is connected to CSJ. Anybody can put together anything. I will say that as many times as I can, to anybody who wants to listen to me. If you would like something to get done with CSJ, do it. I will happily help make it happen and make it part of the CSJ umbrella or provide any resources that I can.
Congratulations with
Thank you.
all this. It is a lot. 4 is a big number. I am so
Thank you.
excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited. I think it's huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Hopefully we can have you here again to see how was it.
Yes, I would love that.
Let's talk about the importance of CSJ and like in relation with not just the counseling profession, but with Hood College and advocacy for social justice in general.
I would love to. I am I am myself, so I will put that out there. I am a 40-year-old white woman who grew up in the United States. Um, that means that I have a particular lens, and it's not perfect, and it is something that I think about all the time. I think about it related to the privileges that I have, um, the training that I have that enables me to get things done, to show up to a space and ask for something and often have that thing come to fruition is a huge privilege. Being able to attend a graduate program is a huge privilege. So the way that I kind of manage that feeling of, oh my gosh, this is a lot of privilege. What am I get? What do I do? Do I deserve this? That all of that stuff that I think we all kind of go through, um, is to focus a lot on what I'm doing to bring others into the space with me or advocate for others, um, if they might need it. I am not trying to reach into anybody else's space and do anything for them. But like I said, with the CSJ activities, if there's something that somebody needs and there's something I can do to help, I am all there for it. So there are a lot of ways that social justice, I think, is vital to the work that we do as counselors, is an intrinsic part of education in general. Um, it's everywhere. It needs to be everywhere. So I try to think about it in terms of, what am I doing right now in any situation? Is there a social justice component? The answer for me is probably yes. And what can I do with that? Um, does that mean that I need to advocate for something? Does that mean that I need to pull someone else forward and stop taking up so much space? Does that mean that I need to sort of clear the stage in a way? Um, you said this, we're sort of at the start of the semester, but also somehow 4 weeks have already gone by in the semester. And this is my last semester. So I'm thinking about, what do we do next? Not that it's my job to make the next thing happen, but how do I how do I make things easier for the next leadership of CSJ? How do I make things easier for the next GA of the counseling department? And how do I help facilitate things for the next cohort of of students that are coming in now, but also students that will come in next year and the year after that. It's not my job. I'm not I'm not the president. I'm not the leg of the institution. I'm not a faculty member. But if there is something that I can do that will make it a little bit easier, I do want to do that. And I think that's social justice.
Yeah. I will add your email and the last newspaper to the description of the podcast so people
Great.
can reach out.
Oh, good. Thank you. I would love that.
Thank you for what you're doing. So we're coming to the end of the conversation, but I don't want to say bye without asking you how you are going to take all this experience and all these what that you're learning right now in your future counseling career, and also if you have any advice for students regarding balancing the different duties, well-being, and or an invitation for joining, or anything that you have to say to the students or the faculty members, please.
Okay. There's a lot that I could do to answer any one of those questions. So one of the things that I think I struggled with for a long time was the idea of who I should be when I enter a space and how much I can ask for. And my best advice to anybody is just ask and let somebody else say no. If you say no to yourself before you have anybody else say no to you, you're you're skipping the opportunity to make something incredible happen. So one of the things that I continue to learn and try to embody with all of this is if I want something to happen, I ask for it to happen or I try to make it happen myself. It is very rare that people really, really try to stand in my way. They might get uncomfortable, they might need some more information, but often it's not just for me, it's for a bunch of people, and there's value to that. So just ask. And that goes to the value of this program and the value of Hood as part of the community in Frederick and in Maryland. Get to know people. And it can be incredibly weird to sort of insert yourself and try to do networking things. That's scary. It sounds weird sometimes, but really it's just getting to know people because you might be valuable to them. They might be valuable to you. You have no idea what's in your guys' future. Anything that I can say to people in the program, build your community here, do it. Get to know people in this program. These are your colleagues. These are going to be the people that you reach out to 5 years from now because you have a difficult case. Get to know them. And one great way to get to know people is CSJ. So please join. It's wonderful. You can do whatever you want. I'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And tell us, how are you going to meet this with your future? I mean, you talk about
Oh,
your
yeah.
thanatology.
What am I going to do with my future? So my sort of pie in the sky dream is to have a pretty inclusive death related something or other. I want to do counseling. I want to be able to do death doula work where you're helping facilitate people during the dying process. I want to connect with other professionals who do things related to death, but that we don't talk about, like lawyers and real estate agents and all of that. And I want to be able to do that in a spot. I want to have a brick and mortar place where people can come and learn that death is a part of our lives. So yeah, getting to know people and building my network of trusted individuals that I know will support me and that feel supported by me is going to be incredible. It's got to happen.
Yeah, it will happen. And I can't wait to see it.
Thank you, Maury.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, for your words, and for all the hard work you're doing and that you will do with the humanity.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
It was so great to have you, and thank you everybody who listened. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to A Degree Further, the official podcast of the graduate school at Hood College, where we help you go farther in your life, in your career, and in your community. Be sure to tune in next time and to catch up on all the latest episodes. Visit hood.edu/adegreefurther. I'm your host, Mariana, and thank you so much for listening.